Hello, welcome again. Ukraine war now entering in the different phases and the elonment of Belarus is now a reality. Russia is planning to train a Belarus aircraft pilot in Russia so that they can train in the carrying the ammunition in aircraft, and these aircraft are assumed to be the nuclear capable. This is said by the Mikhail Gulzin, the foreign minister of Russia. What he exactly said? He said that during the Russian President Vladimir Putin working visit to Minsk on December 19, a decision was made to provide a training for a crew of a combat aircraft converted for the possible use of ammunition with the special warhead. And this is seen as the response to the NATO allies. NATO, led by the USA and the UK and mainly G7 nation, are conducting the various exercises in the around the Russia, and this is the response, and Russia is going to prepare for the Belarus as their ally against the NATO. This is the we can see in that conditions, in that geopolitical sequence. Not just these, the mainly the Russian President Vladimir Putin and the Lukashenko also they decided to enhance the military and the economic ties between the two nations. The last week trip was the first trip of the Putin to Belarus since the last 2 years. So that was the significance of that movement. They are also planning for the special warhead, and Putin said that they are planning to set up the joint and the united defense spaces, but he didn't reveal the what is the defense spaces exactly. It may be that the force may come together for the various purpose like training or combat operation. That may be the one of the significance or the things inside the defense united defense spaces, what Putin said. The Lukashenko also thanks Putin because Russia offers S-400 missiles, anti-missile system to the Belarus, and also the short-range missile. That is the also the one parameter we can see in the deep relationship between the Belarus and the Russia. We can see that the Russia is the largest and most economic political partner for the Belarus. They are the member of various international organizations together like the Commonwealth of Independent States, the Eurasian Economic Union, the Collective Security Treaty Organization, that is also named as the CSTO, and the United Nations. They are the part of that. Also the Sukhoi 224 aircraft also Russia going to deliver to the Belarus. This is also one of the defense ties between the two nations. These are the modified aircraft that may carry special warhead and difference to the nuclear weapons. So this is the happening between the two nations mainly, and the two leaders address the development, and they said that they will enhance their cooperation within the collective security treaty organization, that is the CSTO framework. Belarus and the Russian army now currently they are practicing the conducting of joint training exercise in Belarusian territory. This cooperation in defense is the have the significance, and it may have the chances that the Russia may use the Belarus border to attack the Ukraine again and to snatch the Kyiv from the Ukrainian forces. That's the one of the things. But Lukashenko added that one more thing, that they are not. This is not a threat to any one nation. The cooperation between two nations, and it is just to enhance our security mainly. One thing is one should. Know that the recently that yesterday news, Belarus President Lukashenko also he arrives now in Russia for the discussion of the ties between the two nations ahead. But one we should know that the why the Belarusian President Lukashenko is so close to the Putin. The reason is that earlier in the last 2 years back to 2020, when election was held in Belarus, there was the several allegation on this Lukashenko to rigging of election whole process, and the people started protest. So he at that time Putin helps him, and he know that because of Putin he can sit on the chair, he can rule the Belarus longer. So because of this he is going to close to Russia mainly. And Mainly the other thing is that when people ask whether they will send troops to the new Ukraine, the Belarusian troops, actually he is reluctant to send the troops because mainly he don't want to involve directly into the war and attract the anger of US and the G7. But the another main things that what he give the importance is that if he send whatever the power of the Lukashenko in the Belarus, actually he got the very tight majority, and the people who came on the protest, they know that the rigging of election is the reality. So main thing is that if Lukashenko send the troops to the Ukraine, then his chair in the Belarus may be in danger because Lukashenko power is all depend upon his security and the police and the army. Army guards his forces. If he send his forces to the Ukraine to attack them, then his whole home situation will be danger. People come out protest, and if there is no army police to secure him, then Lukashenko may lost his post and may have to resign from the post. So that is the fear in his mind. So Lukashenko do not agree with the Putin on to send the troops directly into the Ukraine. But now Putin is seducing the Lukashenko for sending his troop or the involvement of the Belarus in the war directly, because giving the such military aids, such military exercise help, or the other defense and economic cooperation, so that Lukashenko will be have some seduction from the Putin, and he may help Russia directly in the war. That's the one we can see the diplomacy of the Putin here. As this development happening, then the Ukraine have the fear that Russia may open the Belarus border again to attack the Ukraine. So the Ukraine now have taken all the precaution, and they boost the Belarus border defense. As we know that the Ukrainian president Zelenskyy went to USA and addressed their Congress. He received the very handsome help to defense, and the US gave them also the weaponaries like the Patriot missile system, so that they can protect their Ukraine. And here, because of this is all the helping Ukraine to fight against the Russia. And now all these Patriot and all these weaponry they will use to guard themselves against the two fronts. One is Russia and another one is Belarus. uh, Again, the one Lukashenko said that they have the threats to attack from the Poland, which is the NATO country. So they want to help from the Russia, and he called the Putin as a messiah for them, because he is helping them, so for their self defense. That the Lukashenko's narrative here. Mm. But what the happening now? The Ukraine is targeted by the Russia with the help of Kamikaze, which is the made in Iran drone, and they are targeting the mainly energy infrastructure of the Ukraine, and the several cities like the Vaktum in the Ukraine. The cities were under the serious energy crisis. People are going to the dark, and now Christmas they are the celebrating in the dark with the sorrow within the backdrop of the war. That's the main the concern now. What is the increasing is there, but yeah, the year coming 2023 will be challenging. And the Russia, the main positive things happen there, that Putin said that he want to end the war as soon as possible, as soon as better. What he said, that is the good thing. What he said, that may be the his hint toward the diplomacy, because the Russia also found fighting the war since the long 7-8 months, and they are now have the various sanction like oil price cap and major economic sanction. So Russia also hit hardly at the finance department, and Russia also want and he give narration. But what's the main thing is that Russia still not taken anything brag. He's not giving the loose hand on the war, and they are constantly attacking the Ukraine. And now if Belarus is involved, then situation may become more grim, and the parties in the war may rises, and it may lead to the World War III also. So that's maybe the situation there. Uh, and because of this situation the USA and the Western allies are constantly pressurizing USA. But let's see what's happened. We will analyze this in topic in as soon as news came. Thank you for the subscribe our channel. Thank you.